Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Pioneers of Athelaq. And boy, do we have a surprise for you! Um, me and the team have been talking, and we have decided to yeet this campaign out of the airlock. I'm sorry, but it's not really working that well for us. It's okay, but I at least don't see any way to improve it past being okay. So we have made the executive decision of not playing mediocre tabletop RPG and move on to Pathfinder and start working on setting up a new campaign. So today we are gonna wrap up some loose ends with this campaign and then move on. And you can bless our generosity that it doesn't just end on the cliffhanger of the last video.
We will also be taking any complaints that any viewer or Twitch viewer might be having, but only in the form of Google Documents.
The fee for processing a complaint is 1000 bits.
Something. When we go back to something popular and you may get donations, I think you should share with us. Like we are all part of the stream, and I want the money.
Yeah, it's
I'm
funny
really
you should
poor.
say
Like
that because I'm a greedy fucker. That's not gonna happen.
I'm unemployed. I have if I convert to euros, I have like only 100 euros on my bank.
Let me play it. Play a tune on the world's tiniest violin for you, Bacon.
I need the money for food.
Ah, that's really funny, Bacon. He wants to get paid. Ah, Christ. Like, if
If I
we.
wasn't a retard, I would create my own campaign with blackjack and hookers, but
Mm-hmm.
we all know how it went last time.
Yeah, wherever last time we tried to do a campaign with a blackjack and hookers, we got a cursed inn that didn't work. Nobody wanted to visit it, and we were above a fucking graveyard for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Technically, it was a
Jackalor,
catacomb.
don't do the actually think. Just
Well,
don't.
Checkalor,
Had to.
if you go to the catacombs I think on France, like what it is besides a very large graveyard.
Okay, can we
Fair.
go on to this campaign so we can just put it out of its misery?
Yeah, let's go.
So,
Sure.
since last time, I had simulated some combats in the background, and the Luchenko's flagship got eviscerated by torpedoes, and the other families, I think Santiago captured one destroyer and the Valois managed to get two. So you have a fuck ton of torpedoes to work with. So, where I would like to wrap this up is just make a couple of rolls to see how well you manage to get the troops on the planet, and then we can just take it completely narrative from there.
Yes, I see. So it means I have to do a command test.
You have to do a Tactica Imperialis test if you're good at that.
A Jackalor, I delegate that to you.
Alternatively, there are NPCs that can do that, but
Sure.
presumably, you know.
I can only do the Imperial Navy. It's the only lore I have. I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah, the Imperial Navy
We
suggests
noticed.
to advance straight up with a squadron of cruisers, preferably lunars, just tractor in at max speed, fire torpedoes as you go to take out some of those stations, and then turn broadside and start mass bombardment of everything else that still lives. That would be the Navy way. You don't have a squadron of 4 or 5 lunars, though. So, the plan was to stand off and bombard. So, I want one roll of some kind to know how well that goes. That can be tactics, that can be operate void ship, and I will allow command because presumably you're going to be hit and running throughout that.
Okay, I can do a command. Actually, wait, I have some XP. I will never use it. That's sad. Let me put Sherlock.
Even this being has no name says that he always knew the Wednesday game was better.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, from what I heard, Wonderland's game sounds way better than this retarded shit.
Like, the Rogue Trader is a scuffed system to begin with. And that's when you're using it to run a single ship. So, if you would,
yeah, I just got the cheat allowed.
Bacon's gonna be, yeah, you can roll tactic as well, and the two of you, if you can think of something useful that could help, you can do a invoke power test or a lore or skill of some kind as well.
Do I get any bonus to the command beside my armor?
I would say not.
Do I get all the I was going to ask for all the shit bonuses.
Not really gonna help you in this case.
Do my scribe times apply?
Sure.
Oh, come on. We're going to leave one day or do an update and to make it look good. Look at this.
Oh, they upgraded the skills as well.
But only some.
Some of them.
Well,
they
that's a
didn't
custom
upgrade the
skill.
knowledges because knowledge, yeah, it's not a skill. It's a, well, yeah.
So, Naxi, do you have an idea what you would like to roll? Things like Forbidden Lore Warp or Psychers is appropriate given some of the things they will eventually throw at you to try and get you off the planet.
Then now I'll go with the warp lore.
Okay. Demi?
I'm not sure if spam and psychic abilities is okay, but what's the worst that can go wrong?
You can go with Charm to try and raise the locals against their overlords.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll
you
spend
can.
the fate points as a
You
Celeste
can just
Pyro.
tell them that the only thing they can lose is their chains.
I'll spend a fate point as well for a +10.
All right.
I'll spend
I'll
the fate
do
point for
raw.
next to before.
Oh, you guys are even spending fate points. Don't trust your own abilities.
Okay.
There we go.
So, the bombardment of the stations goes remarkably well. I'm gonna tell you how you probably do this. See, you have a lot of ships with torpedoes now, and you've seen how these fuckers attack. They ride in, launch torpedoes, and try and fuck off. So what you do is you have the group with the coercive broker sort of shielding it while it bombards, and just behind it, being nice and quiet, you have all the torpedo ships that are sort of functional. So when the 3 remaining destroyers that were here come out to try and do a torpedo run on your bombardment efforts, you torpedo them right back in the face. And given the amount of torpedoes, because I think your salvo is like 18 torpedoes in like 5 different groups.
Oh no!
I'd say you probably cripple or destroy like 2 of them. So that just, covers the atmosphere with electromagnetic interference, which makes it a little harder for them to communicate and coordinate fighters to defend, more than a single hive at a time. And at that point you just start eating more torpedoes at the cities, stripping them of the things that can point at space easily, letting you land with a lot less trouble. Now, on the ground, things, as predicted, get bogged down. Like the technological measures they have, you can counter pretty easily, especially since you have titans. But those fuckers, especially the ones you attack, end up having several groupings of chaos spawn that have been colored with shock colors to help control them, which they just yeet into your battle lines to make things awkward. And while you can shoot them, the troops have trouble staying focused when gribblies like that are in their face, and those things just heal so ordinary, you have troops with bolt action rifles. The chaos spawn just keep healing from that, so things get awkward there.
But the troops won't run because I will activate 40 Emperor, so everyone that can hear me shouting, and I have to
You can do
implant.
that to one battalion at a time, but yes. Eventually you will grind those fuckers down, they don't have that many. But that is something they had prepared, special for you. Luckily for you, these guys do not have... they don't really have nukes, per se. What they have is heavy artillery emplaced around the hives, and ordinary artillery to move with their elite units, but with massed orbital bombardment available, you're able to eventually make it inside the hives. Of course, you have a couple more problems when they try to use sorcery, because your psychers are just not up to snuff, but eventually you're able to take control of that. Unfortunately, for you, the Chaos Warband also decides to hit the Shrine World fucks, as we've come to refer to them, at much the same time, figuring that this place will be fine for a little bit, and the Imperium is mostly elsewhere. So, you get plenty of time to, how to put this, establish yourselves here. The bad side is that the Chaos Warband has time to fuck up the defenses of Incredere and launch a raid, take some slaves, etc. You know how it goes.
We fucking hate them. So that's a positive.
Yeah, technically it's a positive for your dynasty. Eventually, things in the system are gonna get fucky. Because it isn't just the Chaos Warband that shows up, which is swelled with the numbers from Chaos Warbands that were destroyed in what is now Imperial space in the last 200 years or so, right? But also several Eldari warships start operating in the system. As far as you understand, with the plan to pick off whoever wins your fight. It's starting, like, the Inquisition just straight up tells you that this is starting to feel a lot like the Eldari planned it this way, and everything is sort of, it feels like you've been had. Just a smidge.
I think
Elves.
this is the time when we look
Always.
at the... Yeah, go for it, Bacon.
Always the fucking elves. I'll get revenge on them.
Yeah, I think that's the time when we all just look smug at the Inquisitors, be like, we have a plan.
Okay, in terms of how it goes, one hive you'll be able to take. With the others, you're effectively going to be in a situation with enemy warships operating in system. And if you want to bring in reinforcements, you would need to try and sneak around them somehow. Which your faster ships can do, but the transports are probably going to be stuck here. There is an orc rock in orbit around the planet, outside the normal weapon range of, planetary defenses, which you would have been able to easily seize and use as a repair station for your ships. And you can use the factories of the captured hive to provide, resupplies, etc. Munitions, so you're kind of okay for the time being. And it's sort of a three-sided cat and mouse game, where the Chaos Warband, they're not... Honestly, it's four-sided, because there's probably like one destroyer from that was defending the planet and one that was raiding you on your way in that are still alive, that you're pretty sure are still out there waiting for a chance. And the locals and the Chaos Warband, from what you learn, they are not that friendly. The Chaos Warband would like to conquer this place rather than just having it as a tributary. So they're perfectly happy to see you weaken the locals. Now,
Amen.
as to how that would be resolved, presumably at some point you start nuking Chaos Warband cruisers or the Eldari. You know, the Eldari, given a choice, they will let you win and just pick off the remaining Warband ships and leave. They're just, essentially they're interested in seeing that both sides get as damaged as possible, because you're both fucking enemies.
Of course.
And you know, they
Second
have
space
like
elves.
3 or 4 light cruisers here just looking for easy places to strike at either of you. You know, pick off the stragglers, etc.
How many nukes do we have?
What was
3.
it? Yeah, you have 3. Chaos Warband, I can look up their total ship count, because I feel like this is something that you would give a fuck about. And effectively, this is gonna...
So they only had 8 or 9 ships, was it?
like I said, they had been boosted from their initial numbers by some remnants from...
Not the the place we're attacking.
That is here.
Yes, but 9 ships, right?
Let me finish opening the thing, and I will tell you what they have. Because F8
Fair.
has a Pirate 10, which was... Okay, so... 11 ships, 2 of which are Soul Cage transports, and they have 2 Carnage class cruisers, which the Imperial Navy has records of being in other battles in area around Incredere where the systems were cleansed of enemy presence. So they've sort of joined up with this group. They have 4 planetary assault ships, which is what makes things awkward, because they have a lot of fighters and troops in those. It's a proper fucking warband. So, actually, yeah. And then they have a Devastation class cruiser on top of that. So, presuming that you use the nukes on the cruisers, that defangs their ability to fight in space pretty thoroughly. Or alternatively, if you blow up the planetary assault ships and just torpedo the rest. Because at that point, you will have the ability to recruit crew from among the locals and just get all of those ships functioning as well.
I want to save 1 nuke for the main elf ship, because fuck the Eldari.
Sure.
They had 2 light cruisers.
So
Okay, so we have to save 2
Yeah,
nukes.
right?
So you nuke one of the space elf ships, and after that, after they try to attack you, they fuck off, because stories must have spread about you or something.
No elves mess with the Lancaster.
But yeah, like I said, in the long run, this would end up being a case of couple of years just playing footsie with their fleets and then just ferrying in more troops and arming more of the locals, and this would effectively turn into a war world for a couple of decades while it's completely taken. The win there is that all of the dynasties, given their commitment and effort and time it took for this, would kind of walk away with one of those captured destroyers.
Possibly more if we had captured more further from the Chaos Warband.
Yeah, under the guise of the eyes of the Inquisition being right there. No, you wouldn't.
Oh, fuck, right, you're right. You can't steal Chaos Warband ships. Sorry.
Like, there would have been a coalition of the fleet tech priests demanding that these valuable and ancient designs of ships be recovered. But the Inquisition would have been like, You captains aren't gonna do something this stupid, right? But yeah, probably in the end, when their fleet was starting to get decimated, the Chaos Warband would have probably landed troops on the ground as well, at least some of them. So there would be a few dozen Chaos Space Marines running around the planet, making this even more unfortunate. Probably end up taking over one of the hives eventually and doing a fuck ton of rituals there to make things horrible. You know how it goes. Effectively, the planet turns into a mess.
Mm-hmm.
After that is over, you would be able to leave and do the things you planned. Establish the pirate trading station, which would pretty soon start having a couple of other minor rogue trader houses regularly showing up with things that they found and want to trade to the totally legit orc that isn't a guy with green face paint. You know.
Green. He has to be an orc, man. We don't know anything about orcs, so we're completely loyal, you know.
Mm-hmm. Not sure if you would be able to recover the Pegasus Prince. We're gonna leave that as a thing that isn't stated because there is difficulties in recovering that ship. But you would be able to recover the Astarte ships relatively easily. There wouldn't
Go on.
be major threats still active on them after all this time. Not ones that would render you that you wouldn't be capable of dealing with. And they are as easy to repair as they appear. The scans turn out to be legit.
Okay, so no Tyranids to fight. Sad.
No Tyranids. Just a lot of disturbing logs about Space Marines, about an impossible to detect Xenos infestation until it's too late, and brothers killing each other and discovering that, the only way to reliably kill the things which can phase in and out of reality is massed amounts of radiation. So they
Wait,
just...
was it actually Tyranids?
It wasn't Tyranids, it was another horrible spaceborne parasite.
Oh, great.
The orcs on the
Because
planet...
too many of those exist.
The orcs on the planet there, which you might or might not choose to visit in the system, apparently have a holy war going on between two factions, with one faction declaring that the other faction is unorky, and the other faction acting a lot more in tune than orcs normally do.
Okay. I mean, depending on the logs of the parasites,
No,
like
this is legit. This fits the pattern, yeah.
so yeah, we would. I would personally join the orcs and say that those orcs are so unorky that even a Yumi is offended.
Just kill them all. Who cares? Bombard the planet to dust. With few specimens.
Like, if the Inquisition find out about this planet would get exterminatus. If Space Marines yeeted themselves, and there was, at least 50 Marines on board both ships, right? That's, yeah, no, that planet is eating a cyclonic torpedo. They ain't taking the chance.
Okay, so yeah, I would totally tell the Inquisition. I know that they have 2 cyclonic torpedoes ready, so...
No, they have 6. They had a full salvo. Just in case it was hard to make sure that at least one got through.
Yeah, I would tell them that, I found something bad, nuke please.
Yeah, no, they would definitely do that. And in general, I can answer your questions about what the fuck was going on. I know that you probably care about the cruiser.
Yeah, I want to see the ship.
So, let me actually start by revealing the entire map so you can see how fucked or unfucked the sector was. Roughly half of the systems had either a storm or a rift, making a lot of small pockets that were, well, explorable in theory.
Yeah,
It
holy
looks
shit.
so fucking disgusting.
Yeah, this is kind of a dead end. We actually have to at one point go through the rift bullshit.
Eventually, yes, but like there's enough systems there that even in Arc 3 you would have been... Well, you would have had to go up here, because the way you were exploring and going, things up to here could have ended up as Imperial territory, at least. Because it was going to be a bigger time skip. So, like, effectively...
What is that? Oh, that's the space bar thing.
Yes. Let me go to the GM layer and switch things over to the token layer. So there was a bunch of ships in various locations with their own little stories. The Pegasus Prince actually is wonderfully fucked because the warp engines were damaged, as was... I will make the wreck visible to you. Where under lore, Rex exploration, Pegasus Prince. Let me make it editable to you. Okay, so the Warpsbane hull and the plasma drive were intact. The warp drive was damaged, and it was constantly traveling back and forth between the Fish People planet where you went and the next stop in its journey. So it never arrived here. It got damaged in a fight in the warp en route. So you'd have had You would have had to somehow merge the Geller fields and get on board without yeeting yourselves in order to get it out of the warp.
So you're saying that if we had just stayed at the Fish People planet, we would have eventually seen it?
Or eventually your navigator would have detected a trail in the warp, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's where it was. You can
Plasma
see...
battery, microcannon, torpedo tubes.
Yes, it's pretty much... The weapon loadout is the standard Tyrant class loadout.
What is a shipmaster bridge?
That is the cruiser bridge. It gives +10 to ballistics and maneuverability.
Oh god.
Oh!
It's the same bridge that Santiago upgraded the Cursive Broker to during Arc 1.
Those wolfing ships close.
We should have went with the course, broker.
No.
Actually,
No, it would have...
it would be more spreadsheets than just going around and killing things with the fast ship. It would be cancer.
Yeah.
So you can see that this was a pretty nice ship. It even had a power ramp for those special "oh hello there" moments. It was a proper Chad Imperial cruiser, effectively.
It did have some power and space, so we could have put a teleportarium into it.
Could have made it even better, yes. And there were some things you could have stripped out, like the destroyed barracks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fucking good. Now, whenever I just see a ship that has like fucking 77 space and 75 power, I just come anyways.
It's
So
a
the issue
fucking
is
luxury
also
passenger quarters. Trophy room. A temple shrine. It had a temple shrine. It's amazing.
The Precknells
Yeah.
were a loyal yet cursed family.
The issue is here that
Uh-huh.
the issue with cruisers, they spend a lot of stuff already on their essential components is the issue. Like they have to spend extra just because they're cruisers.
See, you say
Which
that,
kinda
but look
sucks.
at all the cool shit it could fit in here.
I mean, yes, I understand. It's really cool, but it's much more efficient to just have a frigate. Sadly,
The power
which we are
ram
doing.
Oh, you have a
can
ship with a
ram
power
things.
ram. The destroyers have power rams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the
Oh, I
new
just
one
wanna.
you captured.
Yeah, I just want to note the two things that obviously we. Here's the thing, Jackler. The ship has one power and one space left, so that can have something at least. Do we really need a compartmentalized cargo hold? I don't think so. Do we really need a power ram? I don't think
If
so.
you're gonna
So,
ditch the lame-ass fucking transport, yes, you need a cargo hold.
well, yes, if we
Yes,
get rid of the
exactly.
transport.
But the barracks you can definitely ditch, so you can move over your servers,
definitely.
your lab, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't
Like,
need
there's space here to improve, and we could always switch the torpedo tubes for like a landing fighter bay or something.
So these are my basic notes for the ships which were scattered around this place, which you might have found clues to and pursued eventually, one of which you actually recovered, namely the Moonstone Ecclesiarch.
Out of all of these, the Spartan Soul catches my eye.
I can show that to you. That was a Orion Star Clipper.
Wow, that's kind of garbage. I mean, it's a pretty good ship type, but it's a transport.
It had a cool name.
It
Spartan
was
Soul
a
is a really good
exploration vessel. It had supply vaults, arboretum,
Suspension chambers.
Yep, and a runecaster and Xenos library.
Fucking Runecaster.
It was like, it was a really good exploration vessel at one point. It's like someone just was like, let me just yeet into this sector and find a safe route through. I'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Where was it?
Harvested by Dark Eldar. That's the worst that could happen.
I mean, yeah, where was it?
Here. Oh, sorry, I'm here. Still on GM layer. Here.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So it wasn't that far. You could have reached it.
Oh, definitely.
sad that we never got the ship.
And that's the other Precknell ship in K7F.
Yes, that was something that they borrowed and or leased in order to try and recover the Pegasus Prince, and that one got killed as well. You can see why they're considered cursed.
And now there's also one ship lodged into a planet.
We were going to take that one. That one is ours. But yeah, would we get the Space Marines on our Dead World?
That depends. They could have ended up on in a number of places, and I honestly haven't rolled what kind of culture they would have, and that would affect it.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Like, given that Incred there was partially bombed and is a shrine world, that would have been a good candidate to just put them on, because that's a developed world and they're already fanatically loyal. So, good spot. Also, close enough to be defended while being close enough to the frontier to do defending.
I'd agree that a bad choice. The Space Marines would hate us.
There you go. I think I loaded this Space Marine ship with plasma batteries for long-range bombardment.
Yeah, hecular pattern plasma batteries.
And other than that, they have
A lot of
torpedo
them.
tubes and a landing bay, as you do.
And the Minotaur.
Oh, now this is a good ship.
The Minotaur doesn't help much for the
They
plasma
have a
batteries,
teleportarium and drop pods.
The Moontorum gives +1 guaranteed damage to the Hectors, which suck on damage.
Oh, they even to non-macro cannon?
Hectors are macro cannons.
They're plasma batteries.
They still count as macro cannons. The only thing I don't count as proper macro batteries is lasers, because that's just retarded. What are you doing, just shoving extra lenses in there?
Fair.
But that sort of balances out, because the laser batteries are like the best guns in the game, honestly.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I really like the what's it called, the Melta batteries. They're really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Set everything on fire.
But yeah, you can see that. And then we had the broadsword, which was a Gladius class frigate with 2 Sunseer lasers. And pretty Chadley ship. 18 armor and 10 speed is a godly combination. Badly fucked up in terms of hull, but hey, what you gonna do? Okay, any other questions?
What
Where
were
were-
the others doing? Like, where was their craft world?
It was just floating in the deep space. It wasn't on the map because you were never meant to assault it, Jackal were. But
What to me? Of course, we're going to assault it.
But their plan was essentially long term. They were studying how various species worked in terms of how their minds worked. They were shaping their evolution in a lot of cases and developing ways to make them into reliable slaves, effectively, using psychic and pharmaceutical technologies, as you discovered
so
in
they were
the
trying
first
to-
arc. Yeah, they were going to use
So they were-
slugs, humans, and everything else that lives here to gradually build up a coalition of cannon fodder as a bulwark against the Imperium and Chaos.
So they were LARPing Titao.
Real quick,
Sure.
did you ever place down the where the fucking slugs ended up?
Not specifically. The idea was that they would show up in like Arc 3, having been completely changed by the Eldari as their willing warrior slaves.
Most important question: where are the cat girls?
Somewhere down at the far end of the map. They were never
Of course.
specifically placed.
Fuck you.
Just like you fucking deserve, Demi. Just
This-
like you fucking deserve.
You know, I have
I
no
was gonna
regret shooting this
keep
campaign.
I was gonna keep dropping hints about them, but you know, you never took the bait because there would have been other cat people colonies, some of which would have been conquered by chaos, where all those mutant cat girls were coming from. And if you tracked them, you could have found the general location of the space, but you never went for that bait.
You just weren't heretical enough.
Unfortunately, you were never gonna find the cat girls because someone just redeemed the cat girls are alive for one last time.
This is why I'm going to be playing a cat girl in Pathfinder.
Oh god, no.
Okay. Anything else you want to know?
How did things end up for the potato lizards?
They would end up as a minor exploited imperial colony of recognized abhumans, their development hampered by the large tithe assigned to them as a freshly baked agri-world.
Okay, so they really were humans.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them didn't die. Not as many as
Wait.
they do now.
Wait, so did after we left, like 9 months after, some very different kind of lizard people were born from
No.
our troops.
No, they
Okay.
were altered to the extent where they weren't cross-fertile with normal humans, and they didn't really have the potential for psychic abilities in any meaningful way. So they were safer from chaos, but they were kind of a dead end-ish thing, if you will, you know?
That's actually could be useful as more of a lower caste for the Imperium if they can be affected by
And they are a lower
psychic power.
caste in this sector, on those few planets
Yeah,
which they spread to. That's literally exactly what they are.
yeah, but saying that they could be purposely bred to be on different planets because if they can have psychic powers, it's very safe to just let them live in squalor forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they are adapted for hot climates, so a lot of the worlds where humans have, like, in a planet that has a hot climate, they can work better and longer than normal human can. They are very well adapted to that sort of thing. So that's what they're generally used for. You know, hot agri worlds mostly, or hot mining worlds. Congratulations, you found the slave race.
Yeah. Well, that's the second campaign that I have slave lizards. Soon we are going to go for a third.
Okay. Next question.
Uh, how deep was the corruption into the sector by chaos?
By chaos. Not as deep as you might think. A lot of the tech priests that showed up, they weren't part of the established hierarchy beyond having done favors for people so they could have those people go, hey, vote for my credentials, I have a new job, and they haven't transmitted my stuff over yet, so if you could just, like, you know, I did get you that thing after all. They sort of bribed their way in, and they... Funnily enough, the Inquisition on this one was mostly on the ball, so their influence extended to the point of being able to get stuff on board your ships when they, you know, use that influence, but not really enough to subvert whole planets. By the way, one of those Navy sword frigates that went with you, you would have had to explode once it started growing tentacles.
Okay. Fair.
Understandable.
Yeah, they would have missed one of the canisters based on the rolls I made earlier in the campaign.
Will Muhammad ever be captured?
You know, they tried to capture him several times, but it's almost as if some dark power is ensuring that he remains at large and dangerous, and he steadily grows more mutated as they keep hunting him. Next, if you would, roll me 4 D100s to see if you hit the Warp Made Manifest along the way. Apparently not. But the people become a lot more xenophobic and careful on Theodoro as a result, because there are horrors in the swamps left over from the slugs, apparently.
Wait, they weren't already xenophobic?
More xenophobic, Jackalor.
Fair. I'm not sure there's more to be, but whatever.
Just a couple serial killers that disassembled people over the period of a couple of hours. You know, copycat killers, etc. So it Muhammado's legacy lives on for a good long while.
I can't think of anything else to ask. I'm even looking through all
Mhm.
the things open.
Um, in terms of Luigi's family, I would say that
Would they have gotten Regal killed?
who killed?
Huh? Regal. What would happen to Regal?
If he didn't straighten his act out, I think eventually the rogue trader would have cut you loose as a liability and hand you into the Inquisition.
No, that's wrong. He has so much things on me. I would have him assassinated.
So, you are wondering about how to best enact a plan you and the rogue trader made to dodge the Inquisition when you hear a window break and you see an Eversor behind you. And that's how Regal ends.
Supposed to be.
You are just deleted along with most of the building. And the rogue trader makes a speech about the horrible attack on his family that will require him to take greater security precautions in the future. Timmy II was apparently killed in the assault. So horrible. How sad. As for the Psychers, well, kind of up to you. Would you stick with the dynasty? Or would you go back to the Inquisition? Because both of you could eventually earn the rank of Inquisitor yourselves, given your previous service.
I mean, I would probably have eventually gone back to the Inquisition. Huh?
What about
Yeah.
you, Demi?
It's fun with the rogue trader, but I smell opportunity.
Okay. You would have been, of course, interrogated thoroughly about the rogue trader's activities, and you'd have been called in as a consultant on many an investigation of his doings and his families in the future.
Like, going from my perspective, when I'm with the rogue trader, psychic powers don't work. But when I'm with the Inquisition, I talk to a few guys, and all of a sudden 150 people are burning, and I'm just like, hey, I seem to be cut out for this.
Okay.
But yeah, an inquisitor that knows that I did heresy. No, he'll. Your father's
Oh,
likes
yeah.
guys, or he wouldn't assassinate him.
I know what would happen. So, you arrive to trade another batch of Xenotech, and as you're coming into dock, you see the station explode, and you realize that there are cloaked Navy ships approaching from behind along with that Inquisitorial frigate. And Kazar transmits to you, telling you that you should prepare for boarding and inspection.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Because he definitely would have known about that fucking station.
God bless.
The family would have escaped, destruction. You might have been forced into an actual retirement. Sort of like Caradoc was sitting on his ass for a while. Well, someone else actually runs the day-to-day. But the Inquisition would have gotten to purge a couple of minor houses that were a little better than pirates.
Well, that's why I would save my last favor to. Okay, just I retire. I get dirt and bounty orders. Just don't fuck my family. Some of them are worth it.
Last time you said that, he crashed the fucking ship.
I mean, Cousin Pricktail, I'm gonna say, would eventually recover the Ivory Phoenix and promptly get his previous ship blown up. Because the family is fucking cursed!
Yeah, I would actually offer him the ship we captured instead of his old one. Would he want it?
No, because he has a, swanky fucking stealth ship.
Yeah, I really wanted to send that to the pirates, but okay, I understand.
Giving a stealth ship, like that ship, is good enough to give to the Inquisition. For pirates, that's like, who the fuck gave an Archaeotech stealth vessel to the fucking pirates? Who? What cunt did this? Oh, it's the Precknell ship. The cunts! But yeah, obviously since piracy isn't gonna go anywhere, they just move elsewhere. Maybe they start docking at one of the minor colonies your house founds. What else? Like the other families, I mean, they're gonna be fine because of course they are. They're major dynasties at this point. Depending on if your family actually, if the next generation continues the deal with the Valois, then the rift between the families may be mended once they do eventually find the Pegasus Prince. But you'll have a new feud with the Precknells because, what the fuck, cousins?
They won't be a problem for long after they lose their ships.
I mean, they would still have the Ivory Phoenix, but it's like, didn't get their cruiser, cousins stole from them, lost their previous ship, and just imagine their entire history is filled with events like that.
Poor guys.
They're so fucked.
I mean, while they can be mad, they're also at fault because they never took the mood of just being, it is what it is.
Oh my fucking god, Demi. I will stab you one of these days. I'll travel to Bosnia and stab you.
I don't recommend doing that. Bosnia is a dangerous place where you're going to be stabbed before.
When the Brazilian says that.
No, we don't have stabbings here. We are civilized. We shoot people.
Okay. Other than that, anything else? Nothing really comes to mind. Is that everything?
I think so.
Okay then. Alright, then that's it for this not quite as cursed as the others campaign.
See in 3
Yeah,
months.
these campaigns are gonna become more and more cursed, aren't they?
I hope not.
I'm probably not,
We
right?
look
Surely
back
not.
at them and see those were the bad old days. Back when Clan Tremere was still House Tremere. Or something
I
like that.
just want to say that this campaign wasn't that bad. It was like better than me being prince and elders. Oh, that was.
Yeah, that was.
Chris needs to update his NPC interactions.
In what way exactly?
Sigh, Demi.
My internet didn't want me to share my secrets, so it cut when I was going to say the same thing twice. So you will never know what I said.
Praise the spirit of the machine. Okay, any last thoughts you would like to share, or a general feelings or feedbacks about the campaign and how it went? Jack, or if you would.
Wednesday's better.
Oh, I have a very important one.
Honestly, I didn't like the spreadsheets much. They were kind of dull.
They were
But,
there
I mean,
for you cunt!
I know, but like,
I was still wanted to try them
I
all.
have never been much into spreadsheets personally. I like,
You're making our whole worlds crash! Do you know what you're doing?
I blame once again. We can blame this entire campaign on Jackalor. Fucking blame Jackalor.
Oh my fucking god.
Like, I think I kind of overestimated just how much people were gonna enjoy the sandbox aspect. Because the campaigns we've played previously have been heavily sandboxy, and that's fun up to a point, but I think people have kind of gotten sick of that a bit or want to move beyond it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an issue with the sandbox, but this kind of this isn't a fucking sandbox. This is a fucking sand mine that you just dropped us. There's only sand.
It's
Far
coarse
up and gets everywhere.
Nyaxi, your thoughts?
I mean, I think that it's the sandbox that gets like more and more work as the party moves through it, and maybe the returns of it aren't as much of a gain compared to a campaign that isn't a sandbox.
Yeah, that's why we're nixing this. Because it ain't working for those very reasons. Demi. Yeah, you were saying, Nyaxi? You had something to
Well,
add?
it was different in stuff like VTM where you just were a city, but like here we are in an entire sector full of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough. Demi?
For me specifically, I think I even said this when we last talked. I don't think the sole issue is the sandbox element. Rather, I think that of how we are approaching this entire sandbox, which is just from, as I said, like a dynasty-wide sort of view, rather than actually having character interactions and stuff like that to actually give some elements there on a local level.
Yeah, it's kind of like I built this campaign to have that scope so you could tell a grand story of a dynasty, but that isn't working anywhere near as well as I was hoping. I mean, you could have screwed a Felnid. You had Felnids on board. You just didn't go for it. You were like, ugh, mutants.
Also, you described her as like a redneck 40-year-old that probably
And
crack.
And you wanted a Felnid. I gave you a Felnid.
Don't you like MILFs, Demi? That's basically a MILF.
Not crackhead MILF. What the fuck is this, Oregon?
What's the problem? She lives in a trailer.
She's not a MILF, she's a milk. MILF I'd like to kill. In any case, yes, apparently you didn't like her and her space trailer. I understand, Demi, you're a bigot.
She's essentially a nerdglide with all
Racist!
She has STDs galore. It's like a fucking Swedish buffet for
She
STDs.
identifies as a petri dish. Don't judge her.
I don't want to fuck a petri dish.
Okay, Bacon, your thoughts.
Honestly, I hated the spreadsheets until I did the one on the Google Drive. That is beautiful. If anyone managed to watch until here, like you, the only person that actually watches, I sell it for you, like $5. Call me. Yeah. But I enjoyed.
Will buy that because it's all homebrew.
Oh yeah, that's. But I enjoyed when we stopped doing just exploration and building colonies and more into second part of the second arc when it was more interactions. They were fun, but still, it's so much stuff to do. It gets tiring. I would have to learn a lot, and we don't get anything done because we get distracted for like 2 hours for some random shit that is more fun.
Okay, so
than
who's gonna
planning.
volunteer to be the treasurer for your Pathfinder group?
Not it.
Not me.
Not it.
Sure.
Actually, if Niaxi can do it, I don't bother to. I can actually do it. I have a paper block with me, and I can usually just write random stuff I find.
Okay. So yeah, those are some of the reasons why we're ending this so abruptly. Spreadsheets. And then we didn't get to fuck a cat girl he liked.
Bruh. I will go.
He won't fuck a
40
cat
if
girl.
you
He
fucking
won't
get-
fuck a lizard girl. What's a storyteller to do? Demi, how do I make you happy next time?
I wasn't a heretic. I'm sorry because
Start playing
Inquisition was on our
heretics,
ass.
then
No matter-
stop being a fucking stick up your ass.
Jackalor, the amount of Dragon Rule 34 you have on your PC, I know you have like at least a gigabyte.
It's funny you should say that because Dragonlance has draconians.
No.
Oh
Well,
God, please no!
Well,
I'm not.
So does
I'm not
Spidey.
going to take the.
But no, Demi, I don't have dragon porn on my goddamn PC.
Doubt.
Doubt.
No, damn it! It's 2020. People just use the internet nowadays.
Unless you have to download it because it's like a game. Shout out to Princess and Conquest.
But yeah,
Demi, you do it here, but
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
yeah, Demi made a good point because I have a friend that now I remember he had like 60 gigabytes of erotic.
Okay, so say goodbye, everyone. We will end this
Does anyone
campaign as we
remember
started it on much the same fucking note.
Goodbye, everyone. Sorry for the campaign.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
See you fucks in 3 months.
See you in January
Bye.
for Pathfinder campaign.